features we've been working on, and of course we have a lot of exciting features in today's episode of LIVESTREAM. Before I forget, we now have a new TikTok account, the Appsmith account. So if you love to see what folks from Appsmith look like when they wake up early in the morning, go follow us on TikTok. By the way, some of us drew, but I'm not going to snitch. All right, so getting in today's episode of LIVESTREAM, we do have a number of features, starting with the multiple data source environment feature. Think of it like environment variables, but for data sources. Then we'll also be looking at the new widget setters feature, and then we'll move on to take a look at the updated Appsmith design system, the new shiny UI that I'm sure many of you have noticed already. And lastly, we'll look at things we're doing to improve widget discovery. My name is Confidence, and this is an awesome episode of LIVESTREAM. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to switch up the order of things a bit, and let's start by talking about the new UI we have on the platform. It's the first thing a lot of you noticed, and if you haven't been logged in a while, this is surely something you're going to notice because it's everywhere across the entire application, from the application dashboards to the settings pane and even to deployed applications. You can see this fresh coat of paint across the entire UI, and it looks so polished and just I really love it. And of course, these images don't lie, right? You can see what Appsmith used to look like before the new design system and what it looks like after. Like, these are images of the previous design system, ranging from the sign up screen to the onboarding flow to the application building experience, and of course the app drawer and your admin settings. Take a look at what all of these elements look like after the design update. Like, this just looks so much better, so much better. Honestly, I love the new design because it looks easier on the eyes and has that premium vibe to it, which of course everyone really likes, and it's just going to give you a better experience when you go build on Appsmith. So kudos to the design team and the engineers who implemented this feature, and I can't wait to get feedback from you guys on your thoughts about the looks. All right, so now let's move on to some of the other features that you have been waiting for, and we'll start with the multiple data sources environment feature. Let's get into it. Now, this is an absolute game-changing feature, especially for a development platform like Appsmith. Essentially allows you to create environments for your data sources, just like you would using environment variables if you're writing code or building from scratch. So this feature is super important, especially if you have production databases that shall not be tampered with. So let's take a look at how to use this feature and what value it brings to the table. So right here, I'm just going to go add the data source. By the way, this is available for all data sources on Appsmith, including authenticated APIs, that's authenticated REST APIs and authenticated GraphQL APIs. But I'm just going to, as an example, show you how this works in a database setup. All right, so let's go to MongoDB. And something you notice is that you have two environments. You have a production environment, and you also have a staging environment that allows you to use multiple connections for the same data source. So let's go fill in the production connection. I'm just going to use the URI. Let's paste this in. Then for the staging, okay, I need to save this. So let's save this. Then I'm just going to quickly edit this and add a staging connection as well. All right, so URI, paste this in, looks good. We save it. All right, and we can go write a query. So let's write a query. This query is going to be called dbinfo, and we just want to grab information about what database is currently running this query. We don't need to name it or do any of that stuff. So I'll give it a quick test run, and you can see we're in the production space. So let's build a widget to actually display this. I'm just going to grab a text widget, place it right here. Let's bind this to query1.data, which is going to show us our DB info. And you can see right now that the query is running in the production database. Now I can go switch this for an instance. So let's query the staging environment. And you notice that the query returned by the data source is pulling data from the staging database. I did not have to write any complex JavaScript to accomplish this. Like, this is just supported out of the box on the platform. And of course, if I go deploy the app, so let's deploy the app, I'm also able to switch what data source environment the app is currently querying. So right now it's on staging, we can switch back to production, and all of this works like it's very beautiful, like it works so smoothly. All right, let's head back. So like I mentioned, this feature is available on all other data sources on the platform. We just took a look at MongoDB. It's available on all other data sources. And we're putting out a couple of tutorials on our YouTube channel to show you how to get the most of using this feature, actually a couple of them. So check out or keep an eye out on our channel for these videos that will be coming out in the next few days. And of course, you should get subscribed, right? So get subscribed so that you don't miss these videos when they do drop. This is an awesome feature. You should definitely try it out after seeing this episode of the Release Jam. All right, so moving on to the next feature, the days of using store value to update a widget state or property is over. And of course, it's for the beta, right? We are announcing a feature called widget property setters that will actually allow you to programmatically update the state of a widget without having to rely on the local store. And the way it works is that you call a setter method on a widget, and by passing values into that setter method, you can change the state of the widget. So for instance, I have a text widget here called change me. Now let's actually do what the text says. Let's change it. And we'll be doing that using the new feature, of course. So I'm going to create a JavaScript file. All right, and this is going to be really bare bones. I think the name of that text widget is text1. So we can do things like set text. So this is a setter method I'm calling on the widget, and we can change its properties by calling the setter method. So let's set its text to hello there. All right, and all I need to do is execute this function, which is done right now. And you see that the text now says hello there. And of course, this goes beyond just setting the text, right? You saw that we have other methods available. So we can also do something like text1 dot set color. So let's set color, and we can set its color to green. All right, run this, head back to the canvas and see what we've got. And we have a green text. So this is a really important feature because it reduces the overhead of updating widget state. And of course, it's available for all of the widgets we have on Appsmith, not just the text widget. It's available for all of the widgets on the platform. We're also making a video on this that is going to be coming out in the next few days. So go get subscribed. Like if you haven't subscribed, why haven't you subscribed already? Now I want you to stop whatever it is you're doing and go hit on that subscribe button. I'm waiting for you to do that. All right, now, thank you. Thanks for subscribing. So we have a lot of cool stuff coming up on the channel. So get subscribed so that you can catch all of these videos when they do land. And of course, a tutorial on the widget setters property is going to be one of it. Now let's move on to the next feature and let's talk about some other thing that's new on the platform. All right, so now we are making efforts to improve the widget discoverability on Appsmith, and this is an effort that should not be understated because it's going to greatly improve how fast you find widgets on Appsmith, in fact by 10x. So you notice this change when you move over to the widgets tab, and something you notice is that widgets are now categorized under classes. So you have the suggested type, you have the input types, you have the button widget, you have the select widget, the display widget, the layout widget, the media widget, toggles, sliders, and content widget. Okay, you also have external for capturing data using your device and sending it to a server somewhere. And although I haven't spoken with the engineering team, but I'm sure the suggested type is powered by AI, so all of your widget suggestions are going to be 10 over 10. So something you have to do for us is don't forget to upload your passport, your driver's license, your banking info, your house address, so that we can give you better widget suggestions. We're trying to help you here, yeah, so help us help you. All right, so the way it works is that, of course, you still drag and drop widgets on the canvas, but this makes it so much easier. So if, for instance, I need to get a container widget on the table, on the canvas, all I have to do is just scroll down to the layout widget and I have it on the canvas. Like that was so easy because I knew where it lived visually, so I can scroll down, drag and drop it, versus having to always rely on the search, which is a bit slow. So I have to come here and type container, it shows up, and then I can move the mouse and drop it. Like, that was actually slower than just scrolling down to where the section is, because these sections will not change, right? So if you know the widget you use frequently, you can actually scroll down to where they are, drag and drop it, or drag and drop the other one, which is the content I actually wanted to put on the canvas. So this is, yeah, it's a nice feature, and we'd love to know your thoughts on it, as it helps you find widgets quicker. Awesome, so this is the end for today's episode of Release Jam, and of course there are other features we couldn't cover in this video, some of which includes smart query templates, quick table widget data binding for MongoDB and Postgres data sources, and the improvements we've made to the auto-completion experience on Appsmith. So if you'd love to get the full gist, please check out our release notes, which is linked in the description below. And of course, like I mentioned at the start of this video, go follow us on TikTok. So that is also going to be linked below our TikTok account so that you can go follow us. All right, so that's it for today's video. Get subscribed, and I'll catch you in the data sources environment video that is going to come in up in the next day or so. And of course, the widget setters video I told you about. So get subscribed, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.